Hey, it's Reg.
I'm Ray.
And we're Bro-RantZ.
Definitely.
We have a great interview today, and it's with Sheriff MICHAEL Chitwood.
He is a guy that I just went blank. He's a man of integrity. Okay.
Hey, I'm Reg.
And I'm Ray.
And we're Bro-RantZ. So this interview is shockingly really laid back and surprising.
Yeah.
It's with Sheriff MICHAEL Chitwood.
Eye-opening, very intriguing. He talks about things that we know about and things we don't know about.
Yeah, this is definitely just some guys sitting back, just shooting the shit, as they would say.
Yeah, and learning about a bike messenger. That's the sheriff.
Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. Enjoy. Watch this. Talk now.
Albie, how you doing?
Oh, there we go. Hey,
gosh, damn it!
We're gonna blame Apple still, though.
I agree.
Yes.
Oh man.
Do you guys want me to throw a golf shirt on that says Sheriff on it, or am I all right like this?
No, you're right there. No, we wanted you to be calm and relax.
Yeah.
Hey, you got me at my kitchen table, my dining room table. So
all right,
got
that's fine. Yeah.
What are you drinking on right now? Just water?
I'm drinking water right now, but when I'm done with you guys, I have an ice cold Miller Lite.
Okay.
I was curious. I was going to see if you were a wine or a beer man.
Now I'm a beer. Actually, tonight's burger night. My girlfriend will be barbecuing burgers here.
Oh,
gotcha,
okay.
gotcha.
How you take your burger? Medium rare? Or how do you take it?
Medium well.
Medium
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of cheese.
That's
what kind of cheese?
American. Lettuce, tomato.
American. American.
That's how you say it in Philadelphia.
hey,
American.
American.
Hey, well, we appreciate you coming on here.
Definitely.
The invitation.
Oh, no problem. You're a very interesting guy. Like I don't know where you live, but I swear you must be in near my neighborhood because I see you all the time.
Exactly.
Riding around. I'm by Ray, where you at? Just in case there's a warrant out for me. Where you live?
I used to always see you riding down Tomoka Farm. No, is it Tomoka Farms?
Yeah.
Tomoka Farms. Yeah. And there aren't any sidewalks out there, but you ride that. And there aren't any bike lanes as well.
Yeah.
But you would ride.
They claim the shoulder's the bike lane.
Oh no.
That's what they claim until you get run over. Then it's not shoulder anymore. I'm off of Town West Boulevard.
Town West. You are in my neighborhood. I'm by Coquina Cove.
Yeah.
He's in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm in Royal Palm. So
you're in Royal Palm. Hey, babe, I told you he lives here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You live here. I knew it.
Gotcha.
I see this man all the time. So hey, when I sent you an email and you had it's funny, you had your assistant I was supposed to get back to me, and I was like, oh, she didn't get back to me. I saw you riding. I was like, I'm just gonna pull over and beep the horn and talk to him. And my wife was like, no, I don't think you should do that. I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, listen, everybody else does it. Feel free to do it.
Oh, really?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh,
I was going to. I was like, I'm gonna pull over and say, why you return my message?
On Town West, it's good. When they do it on Tomoka Farms at 415,
that's
a little hairy.
Yeah, a little dangerous.
Over and you got those cars whizzing by you. You're like, this isn't a good place to stop.
Do you own a motorcycle or no?
Bicycle.
Oh, just a bicycle? You don't own a motorcycle ever?
Listen, my mother taught me at a young age to know your limitations.
Yeah.
Me and a motorcycle, that's not going to happen.
Oh, gotcha. My mom tried to keep me from it too, but I was like, hey, when I turned older, I was like, Mom. I mean, she still tells me, she still parents me now, but she's, she gets on me, but I'm like, damn it, I'm this age now. Damn it, I'm 40. I'm going to get a motorcycle. So,
gotcha.
Hey,
yeah.
Go for it. I went to motor school, and in the first 2 days, I fell like 22 times, and I'm like, this isn't for me. This isn't for me.
You're a balanced guy. You got the right and the left leg. That's what it is. It's
I would have swore he was a bike cop.
You know what?
I would have swore he was a bike cop.
I know. I could have sworn he would have been. I was thinking Chips, man. I was like, yo, your earlier days, you must have been Chips.
No.
All that aspiration.
Your
father was
a motorcycle cop up in Philly, yeah. But I just never had the inkling to do it.
Was it?
I like four-wheel. I crash enough with 4 tires around me, let alone on 2 tires.
I got you. Yeah, from what I saw, you were a speeder. I was looking at one of your Which was really commendable of you to have one of your deputies give you a citation that day when you were speeding. And you were 23 miles over the speed limit?
He didn't think that I would tell him to write me a ticket. He was being slick.
Oh, really?
So he can go back and tell everybody he stopped the sheriff. And then I said, well, you're going to write a ticket.
Yeah.
You could see he had a pucker factor, and you could see the career dissipation light in his eyes start to flicker. Like, you really want me to write a ticket? You clocked me.
Yeah.
You said I was doing 47 in a 35.
Yeah.
Write the ticket. Write the ticket. I'll just give you a warning, though. Write the ticket.
Gotcha.
How about that?
And he wrote the ticket.
Gotcha. Yeah, you know what? I respect that.
That's integrity.
Yeah, it is integrity. And he's watching his butt. I like that. You see, you're a smart man.
$168 worth of integrity.
Dang. Ouch. Ouch.
So, Sheriff, quick question for you.
Yep.
So you went to college on a scholarship to play baseball. Is that correct?
I did the first time.
First time.
First time.
Damn.
Okay.
So you got 2 scholarships?
No, I got thrown out.
Okay. Okay.
For what? No. Don't let that go. For what?
I'll tell you, I partied my ass out. First time away from home.
Yeah.
College bar across the street called the Rat, Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
Right.
And that was back then when your fake ID didn't have your picture on it, just had, your vital information. You could just, as long as you knew it was on the card, they would let you in.
Gotcha.
And my incompletes turned to Fs, and my father came to pick me up, and it was not a pleasurable ride home.
I bet it wasn't. Man, what position did you play in baseball?
First base and pitched.
First base and pitch.
Wow. Was it a full ride? It was a full ride scholarship?
No, it was a partial, depending on if you made it onto the varsity that year as a freshman.
Gotcha.
So why did you want to be an American history teacher and coach basketball then?
Because the biggest influences in my life outside of my parents and my grandparents were my coaches and teachers. And I really, really loved history. I'm horrible in math.
Yeah.
I'm not good in science.
Same here.
I liked history. And I was a gym rat as a kid. I mean, I would spend hours and hours and hours playing basketball, baseball, and football. I mean, I just loved it. And I thought it's a pretty cool way to make a living, boy, if you get to coach and play ball. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not to make a lot of money, but
exactly.
It's a hell of a way to make a living.
And you get a lot of vacation time, though. You get
you
get like 3 months, man. What, 2 months? 2 months out of the year?
It depends on what sport.
You get, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, you're right? Because the coaches got to stay doing off season
recruiting.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Never mind. So, speaking of, because I see you all over the neighborhood, how do you think that affects your policing or your department? You think because you ride around the community, is it so people can actually feel
he's visible?
Yeah, because people can see you. So you think that helps with your policing and your department? Yeah,
it's a great question. Yeah. When I was in Daytona, every Friday I took the command staff out on a bike ride. We would pick a neighborhood. Yeah. I would tell them to bring a legal pad with them, and we would spend an entire afternoon from maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 o'clock at night. Stop, talk to neighbors, and just take notes on what they wanted. And a lot of things weren't crime related. Some of them were about trash pickup. Some was about overgrown grass, loud noise, street lighting. Yeah. And then we would compose an email and send it to the proper city agency and see if these problems could get fixed. So that was what started it. Now, as the sheriff, the county's a little bit different. Yeah. It's so damn big with the size of Rhode Island geographically. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to tell you I get out all the time, but I don't. Gotcha. I just don't. Exercise-wise, I can't run anymore. Both of my knees need to be replaced. So I opt out for the old man sport of riding my bike. Now, I ride my bike over 1,000 miles a month.
Wow. 1,000 miles.
1,000 miles a month, but that's not working. I'm still losing my hair. I'm still gaining weight. I'm still getting older. So.
It's the Miller. It's the Miller Lite. It's the Miller Lite.
You're nice and clean cut. It looks good.
Yeah, right. I lost mine a while, man. I lost mine.
Yeah.
This is from experimenting.
That's the Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley.
Nah, but I lost mine because I used to bleach it. You remember? Did you remember the Cisco era with the Drew Hill?
Oh,
I know you know that. Yeah,
the thong song.
Yes. Well, they were bleaching their hair platinum. So
you was doing that?
Yeah, me and my twin brother. So it didn't turn out. This one we had that.
Oh, for the boy band thing.
Yeah, for the boy band thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Dude.
He was in a boy band back in the day. Him and his twin brother. Yeah.
Whatever. He was in a boy band too, and they were called Boys to Adolescent. It was right before Boys to Men took off. Hey, Boys to Adolescent.
So, Sheriff, you are direct and blunt, but you have integrity and compassion. Where does that come from?
I think it comes from my parents and my grandparents. My father has been in law enforcement. He just retired this past year. 55 years in policing.
Wow.
First 20 in Philadelphia. Then he went on to be a police chief in 3 other places. Spent 20 years in Portland, Maine as the chief. And I was fortunate. Both of my grandfather's maternal and paternal side.
Yeah.
They lived to be. I was in my early 40s and early 50s before they passed away, and their work ethic. My maternal grandfather was he was the only one in his family born here. The rest of his whole family came from Italy, and they set up in the Italian market. And I worked for him. And as a kid, you worked for him. Every summer, you worked for him. He was a son of a bitch to work for. But people from all walks of life shop there. Rich, poor, black and white, Hispanic, Asian.
Yeah.
So, for him to make a living, he dealt with people from all socioeconomic backgrounds, and he treated them all the same. And my paternal grandfather was a career Navy man. He spent 25 years in the Navy.
Oh, yeah?
And he tells some interesting stories about how, in World War II, basically the submarine was all white. When we started moving toward the Korean War, you started to get black folks on the sub.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when he was getting out to Vietnam, it was a completely different Navy than when he had first joined in. And he tells interesting stories of how people would isolate a black man on the boat, except if they were under attack. And then it was a different story. Then everybody was scrambling around together. But other than that, and he told interesting stories about the military in that capacity.
Wow, very interesting. And hey, Raymond here is a former Navy guy. What would I consider Navy? Right? What would I say? Navy? I would say
you could just call me, a Navy guy. That's
Navy
correct.
guy.
Yeah, that's correct.
He's been in the tin can. So
How many years did you have? How many years in the Navy?
I was in there just 4 years active and 5 years reserve. I was on an aircraft carrier. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, for serving our country.
Well, thank you.
I didn't do that, so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, no, thank you, Sheriff. I almost wore a hat for Sheriff, like a cowboy hat.
Oh, really?
I almost did.
You should have wore a hat.
I should have wore a hat for Sheriff.
I'm a city kid. I'm not a
It's all about respect.
No, see, I knew that. I knew that because your term's scumbag. I knew you was a city kid. Yeah. So just the terminology, man. He's a Philly guy. I already know.
Where does that come from, by the way? Scumbag. Scumbag of the week.
That was a conversation at our dinner table. If you were disrespectful to your teachers, to neighbors, or to my mother, when you got your ass kicked or you got yelled at, that's what he called you. You want to grow up and be a scumbag? I got to deal with scumbags on the street all the time. I'm not coming home and dealing with them. and he meant it. Yeah. My father wouldn't think twice of a little bit of corporal punishment if you stepped out of line.
I was gonna say, he sounds like he was pretty physical.
Yeah,
he was. You didn't get cracked for no reason. There had to be a good reason to get cracked, and I gave him plenty of good reasons to get cracked. So I have no argument with the way I was disciplined. I look back, I think he went a little soft at times.
Really?
Wow.
He wrote a book, right?
Who?
His dad.
Oh, your dad wrote a book?
It's called Tough Cop. Yeah.
Yeah, one tough cop.
Yeah.
One tough cop. Wow.
Yeah.
It sold about 12 copies, and he gave away about 250 copies.
Wait, do you have a copy, Sheriff?
I do.
Okay.
You want to wait a second? I got a copy. I'll see.
He's gonna pull it up from underneath the table. It better not be a paperweight. Oh.
And you know what? It's funny you say that. It keeps the door open between the garage and the kitchen. So,
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're a junior.
Yeah, he's a junior.
Oh, okay.
I'm a junior. Yeah.
Very cool. So your dad's first generation, not third. I mean, he's first generation, right? Not second generation.
Right.
Yeah.
He's first generation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you have any children?
I have 3 daughters.
3. Oh God, that's why you joined.
God
became a sheriff.
God knew what he was doing.
I see that because so it could be legal. So your actions can be legal. That's why you became a sheriff. Oh God, I got 2 daughters, so trust me, I know how you feel.
You know that's and you're fortunate. You got rid of your hair before it really started happening.
Is that what? Did they make the salt and pepper look come premature? Was it them?
Oh, without a doubt, because small kids, small problems, as you know, big kids, big problems, and now. The oldest one is 33. Yeah. I think 33, 31, and 27.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And they never cease to amaze me. The bank of dad. It's like, man, you got a master's degree. You got to. Why am I paying all your bills?
They're not in law enforcement?
The youngest one she's in corrections.
Okay.
She works for a correctional facility up in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
The middle one works for family court. She goes around and tries to track down deadbeat dads for the court system.
Okay. Right.
And the oldest one is a elementary school teacher.
Okay.
She has 3.
I think there's there's like influence of you all in there because wanting to be the teacher and well as a correctional and going after deadbeats.
Yeah, look at scumbags.
Scumbags. Dirty ride scandals.
The middle one was a challenge all the way. Let me tell you, most of my gray hair and losing hair was the middle one.
Was the middle one?
Middle one. She was anti everything about it. If there was anything to push the edge of the envelope, that kid did it, and it did it on purpose.
There's always one. There's always one that is your karma.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I was a good kid. I don't know why my kids are bad.
So you say you're a good kid. So you say.
I was a mommy. Was it a mommy's boy? Right.
We all are.
Yeah, I was mama's boy. Yeah, man. I was good, man. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I think God's setting me up for something great.
Check his report.
Check my report. Whatever.
Hey, Chief. So, Sheriff, you went from Chief to Sheriff. Why'd you make that transition?
The previous Sheriff Ben Johnson, was retiring.
Okay.
And the day he announced he was retiring, I was out. I used to be able to run back then. I'm out running through the woods in Venetian Bay, and my phone's going off. It's former Mayor Glenn Ritchie. It's current Mayor Derrick Henry. It's the city manager, and they're all saying, "Hey, call me." And I called them all back, and they're like, "Hey, we want to meet you tonight for a drink. We want you to run for sheriff." I'm like, "Get the hell out of here! I'm not running for office. I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
And Mayor Henry was insistent. He's like, "Look, this is the next move. You've been here 10.5 years. You need to do this. You will win, and you will win big." And then he introduced me to some business people, and I said no. I said, "I'm not doing it. I love it here in Daytona Beach. I don't want to run for office." So I let the first train go by. Working the 500 in 2016, the end of the race, I'm out there directing traffic, and it was nonstop. People coming out of the Speedway from all over the county saying, "You got to run for sheriff. This job's perfect for you." So I jumped in the race a little bit late, and I wound up winning in the primary. There were 4 other people and me, which was 5. I won out in the primary.
I remember.
Yeah, I had more votes than the other 4 guys combined.
You did.
And every once in a while, I wake up in the morning and say, "Why did you do that?"
I was going to say.
Dealing with county council is like, I'll deal with any problems my daughters have any day of the week. Dealing with county council, it's like herding cats. They're horrible.
I remember you had tough times with them in the very beginning. It was like rubbing with sandpaper.
Yeah. It was a battle royal. All the programs that we did in Daytona Beach for the young folks, mentoring programs, after school homework programs, camps. We just transported all that over. It didn't cost the county any money. And I had a battle royal with the county manager and the county attorney over it. I'm like, "I don't understand why you're involved in this, fellas. It doesn't cost a dime. And you have no say. I'm the elected sheriff." And it just went downhill from there.
I remember that. I remember him talking about that on another show.
You said you heard on the show today was his 15th anniversary?
Yeah, 15 years of you being in Volusia County. Is that what it is we're celebrating?
It's the beginning of our 15th year doing the Mark Bernier show.
15 years of Mark Bernier.
Oh, yeah. We're not celebrating that then. That's another show.
It's okay. It's okay because Mark Bernier led me to him, so that's fine.
Oh man, whatever.
And Mark's the neighbor, right? Mark lives right around you guys.
He does? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He lives in Coquina Cove in there.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
He's one of the guys why they're probably enforcing parking restrictions, to be honest.
Speaking of, I got a bone to pick with you, sir. Hey, I got two tickets. I got 2 tickets in one day for parking. I was parked on the street, but okay, I'll admit,
this is not a grievance show, okay?
No, it's not. But the vehicles were facing the wrong direction. But I was not blocking a sidewalk. But 2 tickets? They should have gave you 1 ticket.
That's not me. That's the Port Orange police chief. I'm innocent.
Oh, really? Oh, see that?
I know Grimaldi.
Gosh.
I know. It's Grimaldi.
I know Grimaldi.
That was my motivation for this whole interview.
I know.
Let's go get Grimaldi.
We're done now.
Grimaldi. We're done here. Let's just go. No, I'm kidding. Man. I was gonna ask. Oh yeah. So yeah, what made you want to move to Florida since you're a Philly guy, a Philly boy?
I had 18 years in with the Philadelphia Police Department. Mm-hmm. I did really well on the written exam to become a captain. And 5 days later, when we took the oral exam, I got really stupid all of a sudden, and I didn't really score high.
Gotcha.
And at this rate, I'll never be able to run my own department. So let me apply and see what people fitting my criteria would look like. So there was about 10 policing jobs around the country, all over the country. And I submitted applications to all 10. 5 came back hits. 5 eventually got whittled down to 2, and 2 places offered me a job on the same day: Hillsborough, North Carolina, and Shawnee, Oklahoma. So in May of 2005, I departed for Shawnee, Oklahoma. Halfway across the country, never been there. Mm-hmm. City surrounded by Indian reservations, 4 different tribes. And I was there a year to the day. And about February that year, a retired Philly cop who lives in Ormond Beach called me and said, "Hey, Daytona Beach is looking for a new chief. You'll love it there. The place is like the Wild West.
Yeah.
You need to apply." He said they got a serial killer running around. Community relations is horrible. Yeah. They hate the cops down there. So I applied, and I got it.
That's what brought you here?
Serial killers.
Serial killers. It's the Wild West and serial killers?
Serial killers, they hate the cops. And he was like,
the community hates the cops. And the guy's like, and I worked for him. He was a sergeant. He said, "You will love it here. You'll be successful." So I applied.
Oh my god!
And sure enough, I got hired. And it was the greatest 10.5 years of my life.
Oh my god! Okay, look, since you mentioned that, I've seen so many shows. I was telling you before. Have you heard of the show Yellowstone?
I scroll by it on my way to ESPN. Okay. I've never put it on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yellowstone. It's Kevin Costner. He's all about these cowboy movies now. But anyway, it's about cowboys and they live next to Indian reservations. Since you mentioned that, but they have so much power in those Indian reservations. It's like they have.
Isn't it federal? It's federal, right?
They have like
it's federal. It's federal land.
So you can't
You can't go on there.
And it's
without
like
having a federal officer with you to go on it. You could chase somebody in hot pursuit.
Yeah.
But you just can't go on there and do anything without a federal officer being there.
How was that? Was that like the Wild Wild West over there?
It was, coming from Philadelphia, which is a hugely integrated city.
Yeah.
I heard the term "other side of the tracks."
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant. In Shawnee, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
There is the other side of the tracks. The train goes through and you go on the other side and there's clapboard homes and you have the black section, the white section, and it's surrounded by all of the Indian reservations there. The Potawatomis, the Sac and Fox, the Shawnee, and I think it was the Pawnee was the other tribe out there. Mm. And they all have their own little lands, their own supermarkets, their own golf courses, their own everything. But they had a huge drug problem. Methamphetamine was huge on those Indian reservations.
Really? Even in their community? Dang,
wow, that's pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Jeez. Hey, do you remember your first arrest?
I do.
What was it?
I do. My first arrest, I was working with a guy who I went to high school with, named John Kissinger. He eventually became an FBI agent, and now he runs investigations for the Attorney General in Pennsylvania.
How about that?
We were assigned to a paddy wagon working midnight to 8. And we're driving down the street in North Philadelphia, and a guy comes running up to us with no shoes on. He's beat to a pulp, and he got robbed. Turns out he was a pastor, and he was picking up a hooker, but it turns out he was going to get robbed. So maybe
Lord Jesus.
Maybe I shouldn't say he was a pastor. So we put him in the wagon with us. So he's sitting up front and we're driving around. And sure enough, a couple blocks away, he said, there they are right there. So it was a male and a female. Uh-huh. And my partner, being the real good guy it is, he jumps out and grabs the female. Well, that leaves me with the male. and now I jump out of the wagon, no radio, and this guy could run. Fortunately, I was 23 years old. I could run too. Yeah. We ran for 6 blocks before he just turned around and said, you got me. He fell to the ground, vomited. I felt bad. I let him lay there. When he was done, then I handcuffed him. But now I don't know where I'm at. Yeah. I have no radio. And he's got the guy's wallet in his pocket. So that was my first arrest. We actually got a commendation from the police commissioner on that.
How about that?
But I always joke with my former partner that, hey, and he had a little more time than me. I said, it's really nice that you jumped out and took the woman, and I had to run for 6 blocks after this guy.
I just want to know what happened to the pastor. That sounds like a joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
A pastor walks in there with a stripper. What happens? Walks into a bar.
Oh my God.
It's I won't say it. I could do a Catholic priest one too. We had
I want to hear it. No, I want to hear it.
And it was, Father, do me a favor and pull your pants up and then tell me what really happened. What? Why were your pants down around your ankles when you got robbed? You call the police, get to a payphone. He's talking to you because he's so upset. And it's like, Father, this is a great story. Why are your pants down around your ankles? Not a good moment.
Not at all.
Oh, my God.
Not at all.
Could you imagine? She was giving confessions, my son.
Wasn't a she.
Hey, that's a scumbag right there. Damn scumbag.
Scumbag of the week, right?
Yes. Exactly right. When I was in Philly, my first assignment, there was a street called 13th Street. Right now, if you went down there, you would say shit was a liar. This never happened because it's all been regentrified. Mm-hmm. But the first block were the hookers, were the prostitutes.
Yeah.
The second block was transvestites. The third block was anything that your heart desired was in that third block. Wow. And people just flocked into that area. Mm-hmm. So you had a lot of robberies, you had a lot of shootings, you had a lot of different things that went on there. And it was pretty exciting working midnight day.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
I remember when my grandmother used to say to me, nothing good happens after 10 o'clock at night. She was right. There's nothing good happens on that street after 10 o'clock at night.
My mom said the same thing. Absolutely. Exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Wait, so do you consider Florida your home now? Since you're a Floridian, officially a Floridian.
This is where the good Lord wants me to be. I'd like to be for the rest of my life.
Got you. And also, do you speaking of since you ran for sheriff, do you have any other political aspirations, or you just once you're done with sheriff, you're hanging?
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
You don't want.
I would like to. I turned 57 in another week. Mm-hmm. I would like to. When this term ends, I'll be 61. I would like to work till I'm 65.
Yeah.
So I would like to run for a third term, and at 65, maybe teach. Maybe by then the other daughters will have grandkids.
Yeah.
And kind of say, at that point in time, it'll be 42 years. It's time to get out of the way. Wow.
Come on, Sheriff. We were hoping to go viral tonight. That's what we were hoping to go viral. With some kind of announcement.
Oh, it was an announcement. I know, right?
When you look at what's going on there today, and you watch what goes on today, somewhere along the line, people lose their integrity and their sense of what's right and what's wrong, and you get into this meanness that no matter who you back in the presidential election, you're an asshole, and they're tearing up your signs, they're tearing up their yard. What are you talking about? We're all Americans. You vote who you want to vote for. Don't vote who you don't like.
Exactly.
Just because somebody votes for somebody doesn't mean they're an evil person.
Yes, and, exactly.
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're all Americans, and just get over it. Mm-hmm. When the day after the election, you guys had to get up and support your family.
Yeah, exactly. We do.
Exactly.
Same thing. I had to get up. I had a job to do, and it just seems it's just so evil. The way everything is so divisive that how does anything get done?
Yeah, that's why I think you're supported by the NRA and the NAACP because of your.
How about that for an endorsement? Huh?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, you are.
Shoot.
Yeah. I mean,
pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive. It's almost unheard of. Hey, what is the most valuable lesson your dad gave to you?
Was to treat everybody the same way you want your family treated.
Gotcha.
I mean, he told me, he didn't give me a lot of advice when I became a cop.
Yeah.
What he basically said is, you're going to go into the homes of the richest of the rich and the poorest of the poor.
Mm-hmm.
And your job is to make sure you give both those folks the best level of service possible. There is no difference. You don't treat somebody different because they got a lot of money. You don't treat somebody different because they don't have any money. They called you for help. Your job is to provide help.
Did he want you to be a cop?
He never pushed me that way. And then when I was married and had 2 kids, and I was working on the docks in Philadelphia, and I'm like, hey, I make really good money, but I don't want to stay here and freezing my ass off the rest of my life from December to March. And I didn't tell him. I took the test for New Jersey State Police, Pennsylvania State Police, Philadelphia Police Department. And then I told him, I said, I took these tests, and now they want me to go through the rest of these processes. And he was proud. I mean, he was proud, and here we are all these years later. Mm-hmm. But it never wanted to be that way because my father was my arch enemy growing up.
Oh,
I hated cops. As a kid, he was my hero. As a teenager, he was the Antichrist. And guess what? I was the Antichrist to him.
I was going to say, I think it was the other way around too.
There was no love lost in my teenage years with my father. But when I got married, and you guys know this, when you get married and have your own family, all of a sudden your parents aren't so stupid anymore.
Oh no,
that is correct.
All of a sudden, get really smart.
Exactly. All of a sudden, they're the people you're turning to for advice, and you're like, oh, you know what? You're apologizing. Like, gosh, I understand why you did this. Oh, trust me, I get it now.
Yeah, the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Yeah. So you applied for the police academy without him knowing. You're saying, right?
No, I took the entrance exam without him.
Without him knowing because you wanted to see if he made it first.
When I was going through the process, I let him know and said, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." And I had never fired a gun before. I'd never done anything like that.
Gotcha.
So he was the police chief, I think, in Middletown Township, Bucks County at the time, and he said, "You better come up here and get on the firing range a little bit because you don't want to flunk out. You've never touched a firearm in your life. Go ahead, and we'll take you and teach you how to shoot and do some other things." And then our relationship really pivoted to where he became my best friend. And today, all these years later, he lives around the corner from me. He's still my best friend. He kills me every day. He's extremely high energy and high maintenance. So
really?
Another issue, yeah.
How is he high maintenance?
He's 77. Get him a job. I'm like, you just retired. You don't need a job.
Hey, he's right. If you retire, you got to. I think statistically, it's good for people to
stay busy.
To stay busy because it prolongs your life.
Does it?
You're right.
It prolongs your life.
You're right.
When you stop doing something,
he's in the gym every morning at 4:30.
Oh, really?
He has his own club. There's like 8 of them. It's him and like 7 women. They meet at Planet Fitness on Nova Road.
6 or 7 women.
It's him. He's the only guy. He's the only guy in that little group. They take pictures. They send them to me and my mother.
You didn't tell me your dad's a genius. How the hell did he start that club?
I think the youngest person in there is like 65 too. So I mean, you have to. It's one thing if you have some 30 or 40-year-old women in that club.
Is this the Villages you're talking about?
No, he lives around the corner from me. He's up with the Planet Fitness on Nova Road.
Oh, wow. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, damn, Dad's a pimp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sound like the Villages.
The Village. Oh, the Village.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, the Villages are. When I retire, that's where I want to
go. I bet.
Is that Disney?
Something like
Disney for old people.
I know. Yeah. Snowbirds.
Oh, yeah.
Disney. I'll keep that in mind.
Hey, you made a comment about 2 years ago where you said that police officers went from being guardians to
warriors to guardians.
Yeah. So that changed. Can it ever go back to being?
No. Well, we when I was trained, and the way unfortunately some police departments still train, they train in a warrior mentality. Yep. And that mentality has to change. Yep. It's been 20 years that we've been trying to change that culture and make us more into the guardian mode. And you get a lot of resistance from that. I mean, I got a lot of resistance at Daytona, but nothing like when I went to the sheriff's office. The union was, you're going to get cops killed. This is bullshit. This de-escalation stuff. Yeah. And, the law says we can do this. That's all we need to know. And in reality, that's not the truth. Just because something is lawful doesn't mean it's not awful.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
And, the sanctity of human life is what we all took this job about. We took this job to make our community better. We didn't take it to make it worse. And the sanctity of human life should be at the forefront of everything that we do. hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You got a guy with an AK-47 and he's shooting up the neighborhood and he's shooting at you. You got to shoot him. You got a guy in a school, you got to shoot him. But mentally ill person with a knife, there's ways that time, distance, and cover, you could use that to your advantage. And maybe there's 200 or 300 less police shootings a year. Maybe the perception of law enforcement isn't the way it is because you're taking these steps by using time, distance, and cover, less lethal tactics, using mental health experts instead of yourself on some calls. There is no doubt. And I think if you watched, I had Fox News on the other night and they did an exit poll of Americans. It didn't matter who they were. And they asked them a series of questions. Is the country headed in the right direction?
Yeah.
And it was, it was like, yes, somewhat. There were multiple choices there. Mm-hmm. But when you add it up, it comes to like 60-something% of the country says it's not going in the right direction. Do you think law enforcement needs to redefine itself? That was another one. That was like 78% of the country said we need to redefine ourselves. Some said a complete overhaul. Some said, major changes. Some said minor changes. Some said no changes at all. But when you add up those three categories, you're at 78% of the country is saying your profession needs to change. So, they're the things that we, as police leaders in the nation, need to focus on. The people who pay us are telling us, hey, you need to make a shift here.
No, that's really good.
Yeah, I've watched videos on you, and that's the one thing. Well, there are many things I like about you, but you put an emphasis on life first. You care, and it's obvious, and that's why I commend you, because you actually do care about life before you want. Like, you're a sheriff, you're a police officer, you want people to follow the law, but at the same time, you do care about people, and that means a lot.
I mean, you look at it this way, and a lot of my theories through life were wrong. And as you get older, if God's good to you and you can still do what you love to do, you start to pivot a little bit off your initial thinking. Overdose deaths is an example. Mm-hmm. We treated overdose deaths for years as the user, the person who died, made a conscious decision to break the law, buy drugs, and they died. Mm-hmm. Then you get here, and I get elected sheriff, and I'm the police chief in Daytona at the time. I get elected sheriff, and you start to see all of these overdoses, and you start to do a victimology, and you're like, this person's like never been arrested before, or this person has been arrested a million times, but they didn't ask for this. Yeah, they have a disease. Yep. Mm-hmm. And somebody sold it, knowing they had this disease. Somebody sold them stuff that they knew they were going to die from it, and sold it anyway. So now we investigate every single overdose death as a homicide. So when we get that call, both narcotics detectives and homicide detectives go to the scene. And we try to look for any kind of evidence that'll tie us back to the dealer so that we can go after the dealer for either manslaughter or murder charges.
How about that?
It's tough going because you have to have science on your side, because a lot of people with substance abuse have multiple health issues. So the drug is a causing factor, not the total factor, and they won't prosecute unless you can prove it's the total factor. So we try to do that, and maybe we prosecute a handful of cases a year. But I think law enforcement now tends to look at these folks, they're victims. It could be your kid. It could be your grandkid. It could be your brother. I mean, we got people overdosing in their 70s. That's somebody's grandfather or grandmother who's overdosing.
In their 70s?
They didn't do anything wrong. And I view substance abuse different than I viewed it before. Now I view it as somebody who you could have heart disease, you could have diabetes, or you could be born and have substance abuse.
Wow. That's a serious thing.
That's sad.
That's very sad. What about, I know you just touched on mental health. How many cases would you, if you had a this is my word, guesstimate, guesstimate, that you deal with that's more so mental health issues versus addiction versus addiction?
I think they're tied together.
You think they're tied together?
Mental health and addiction. Yeah, I don't think, in my opinion. Yeah, I just got a big debate with a guy yesterday about this. I don't think you can separate the two, because there's some psychological and some physical things that go with addiction, and then you have mental illness with psychosis and schizophrenia and everything else. that those folks use drugs to get relief from their mental condition, which can make it even worse. I'm going to tell you that probably 80% of everything we do involves the combination of those two.
Wow.
Domestic violence cases, most of the time the guy is completely messed up on drugs or something else, or he has some other mental issues that cause him to not handle stress well and react in a violent manner. The number of calls that we go on where somebody is armed, we're trying to do a study of that now.
Yeah.
To show the public that, in 0.001 of those instances, we use force. But there was 150 times where we never used force. We used all these other tactics, and the person was armed with a gun or a knife or a brick or whatever. We were able to bring that to successful resolution.
That's amazing.
That's
really
awesome.
good. That's really good.
Do you? I don't know. I don't know if it's a personal question. Have you ever? I'm still going to ask it. Have you ever fired your gun at all?
Yeah, twice.
Twice.
Twice in Philly. I was in. I won't bore you. I'll bore you with the gory details. What the hell? Nobody ever asked.
Nah, I want to hear the gory details. This is what I love to hear. I want to hear the gory details.
Yeah.
1989. I was on patrol, and it was like 2:00 in the morning. I responded to a call of a carjacking. An Asian female operating I think it was a Saab. She stops at the intersection. Guy comes up, smashes the window with a revolver, pulls her out of the car, gets in the Saab, and realizes he can't drive a stick shift. So he goes through her purse, he gets a couple bucks, and he flees.
Yeah.
So when I get to the call, she says to me, "Hey, it's a guy. He's got on and you can't make this up. He's got on a Phillies baseball hat, a Phillies shirt, red shorts, and red sneakers." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I drive 2 or 3 blocks down. There's a bar. It was like the bar out of Star Wars, was on the sector that I worked.
Yeah.
And I get to the corner, and I'd be damned if there's not a guy standing outside drinking a 40, red Phillies hat, shirt, it matches the description to a T. I get out of the car, go, "Hey man, you got a minute?" And he throws the quart of beer at me, smashes off the front windshield of the car.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, "Well, this is the guy." So we go on a foot chase for 4 or 5 blocks. We go through an alleyway, and I can see he's got a gun in his hand. We come out of the alleyway, and he's gone. And across the street is a vacant lot with a real high fence, and then there's a bunch of houses with porches and cars parked. So I said, he's got to be hiding up on one of the porches. So as I'm using the cars for cover and checking the porches, he concealed himself between 2 parked cars. He pops up like a jack-in-the-box, shoves his gun in my shirt, in my chest.
Yeah.
I pull my gun out and fall back and fire 2 shots. I hit him in the chest once, miss him. His gun misfired because it was a revolver. When he smashed the window of the car, it knocked the cylinder out of whack. We both look at one another, and he's gun and runs, and I chase him, and we find him hiding in a dumpster. And then eventually he's charged not only with that woman's carjacking, but they link him to like dozens and dozens of robberies throughout this North Philadelphia area. So that was my first shooting. That was 1989.
Yeah.
My second shooting was 1993, November of 93. My daughter was born a couple of days after that occurred. It was a drug hit. I was working in the Richard Allen Projects. A Plymouth K car pulls out, and I think it was a Volvo, pulls out behind it. They race up the street. The Volvo cuts the K car off. 3 guys get out and open fire on the K car.
Wow.
And guess who's the 3rd car behind them? Me. So I get involved in the gun battle. They get back in the car. We have a high-speed chase. The guy in the backseat is leaning out, firing at me the whole time we're driving up.
Holy crap.
We drive up a mile, over a block, back a mile to exactly where this thing started. They lock their brakes. I rear end them. They get out of the car. I get out of the car after the crash. We engage in a gun battle again. Wow. And I hit the guy in the back seat twice. Andre McNeil was his name.
Wow.
And eventually we catch him. So I had a revolver. I had 6 shots. Those 3 guys fired over 70 shots when they went back and checked crap casings.
Wow.
So they were my 2 shootings that I had.
Wow. Does that come home with you? Does that like you shooting Andre McNeil and the other guy almost getting you right there between the cars? Is that how do you?
No, you know what? I was always grateful that I never killed anybody. I was grateful that we had really bad ammunition back in 1989.
Yeah.
And shot him in the chest, and it went right through him. Didn't any vital organs. He was able to run. He recovered. The criminal justice case took care of it. Andre McNeil, I hit him twice. I didn't hit him in any vital area.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Andre, he spent time in jail, and eventually, when I was in homicide, I investigated his murder, where he was killed.
Oh, wow.
Years and years and years and years later.
Wow.
Somebody slit his throat ear to ear.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
they were. It was funny. Andre McNeil, God rest his soul, he used to tell people, Chitwood shot me. Chitwood shot me. Because I was in the media a lot as a cop for a lot of my exploits, and he would use that as a badge of honor. Chitwood shot me. Chitwood shot me. You weren't recording when I just said that. I hope you can bleep that out.
Chitwood shot me.
I mean, but so engaging in those two gun battles, which is crazy. I don't know what cops go statistically if they have that many in their career, depending on obviously the demographics. Did you ever think about quitting? Because I know you just said your daughter was just born days before. So something like that, does it make you question, like, oh, should I still be doing this because I have a family at home?
Me, no.
No?
Me, it did not. Other people, it does. Mm-hmm. The overwhelming majority of cops never fire their gun. Ever. 30 years, 40 years, never fire their gun. And you have other people that in a 10-year span, they get in 4 shootings. And all 4 shootings, they were getting shot at. And you just say to yourself, that's just the luck of the draw. But to get to your point, one of our deputies, Sergeant Tommy Dane, who's been here with the sheriff's office for over 30-something years, greatly respected man. He was shot in the head out on 44 2 years ago. We were chasing a guy from Deltona that did a carjacking. We flattened all 4 of his tires. I was in the chase with him. Eventually, he bails out of the car. He tries to do another carjacking at 44 and I-4.
I heard about
this.
We're
verging on him. Mm-hmm. He opens fire on us. We open fire on him, and Tommy gets hit in the head. Mm-hmm. And only by the grace of God, a millimeter of the way, he's dead. It just happened to hit him right where it creased him. Didn't go through his skull.
Oh, wow.
And after he recovered, he came in to see me about 6 months ago, and he said, Sheriff, 30 some odd years of doing this. I have a 5-year-old. He's been remarried. He says, I got a 5-year-old. I want to watch that little guy grow up. I'm just going to go for an early retirement. I'm out of here. And he did.
You can't blame him.
Halloween was his last day. He said, after 30, I don't have anything left to prove.
Yeah.
And I think God's telling me something. It's time to go, man. I got a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
his 2 other daughters are like, they're like juniors and seniors in high school. So he's like, I just got to go. And I admire that. That he saw that and said, there's no sense hanging around here. It's time to go.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Hey, do you take vacations? Seems like you're always working.
I do. Even when you're on vacation, you're working. Before COVID-19, my grandson, who was probably my best friend, I would always fly up to Philly to take him to Sixers games, Eagles games, Phillies games, and we would have like a man's weekend where we would go and do those things. And then my girlfriend, we would pick, hey, where do you want to go? Take a Friday and a Monday, and we'll go somewhere. But you're tied to this damn thing, never stops going off. And with the iPad, you're in constant contact all the time.
Yeah, you got to love technology.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just great.
So you said you're a Phillies and Eagles fan?
Oh, Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, absolutely. Everything Philadelphia.
Oh, I was going to say Sixers. I was going to say, who's your favorite Sixers player of all time?
Dr. J.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
And who?
And Billy Cunningham.
Oh, I was saying no modern Allen Iverson.
Me and Allen Iverson weren't good friends.
What does that mean? What happened?
You guys had a run-in with him?
I had to arrest him. So we're not good friends at all.
No, we got to hear this. This is some good stuff.
What'd you arrest Allen Iverson for?
Domestic violence.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, we've heard of it. Yeah.
Is what it came into. He had the allegations were that he had beat Tanya up, threw her out of the house naked, and she had to call for help to get out of the situation. And the 2 people who she picked up called the police.
Oh,
police get there. She doesn't want to do anything. Allen Iverson gets wind that they called the police, and she was staying with them. He goes to the house, kicks the door, and allegedly threatens them with a gun. And they call 911. One of them locks themselves in a bedroom saying, number 3 from the 76ers is here with a gun. I mean, the 911 call is beautiful. So based on that call and those interviews, we arrested him. And it was really interesting to go into his house. It was interesting, to say the least.
Interesting. I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
It was interesting too from the police perspective, because you had the top brass of the police department that said you're not locking him up. And my thing was, hey, we presented this evidence to a judge. The judge gave us a warrant. If his name was Joe Blow, would we have locked him up? If he was a cop, would we have locked him up? And if the answer to all those questions are yes, there's no difference here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you have people saying he waved a gun around. You have a guy locked in a bedroom screaming, he's got a gun, he's going to kill us, send the cops here immediately. I don't think these guys were smart enough to say that never happened. But what happened was when they went to court, they had the I forgotty, like John Gotti. I forgotty. I forgotty that one. I forgotty this one.
Yeah.
They went so far south with their testimony, they were in Cuba.
Wow.
Who? Allen Iverson. Never heard of him. Who's he?
So basically, he got the special treatment, basically, right? Because he's Allen Iverson. Is that correct?
Oh, they wouldn't let us search for the gun at his house.
Wow.
You know, it was stuff that would never have been done normally.
Yeah.
They really, the police brass really tried to block what was going on. And then the witnesses, obviously somebody got to them, because when they got on the stand, they were like, Allen Iverson, I never heard about. Did I say Allen Iverson on the phone to the police?
Wow.
I must have been really nervous. So
yeah. The answer. It's the answer. Who is it? It's the answer. Okay. It's number 3. It's the answer. AI.
The answer. Exactly.
The answer. Yeah. So you never said name.
I'm left-handed, and Billy Cunningham was left-handed when I was a kid, and I got to meet him, and that was the first autographed picture I ever got of any athlete was Billy Cunningham. So, and then when he coached Moses Malone, the Sixers won. Was it 82 or 83? Won the championship. I mean, I that was just the highlight of my sports life, was watching that. Of course, the Eagles beating Tom Brady played pretty well there too.
Yeah,
that's pretty up there. Got you.
There was nothing like the evil empire getting beat by the Eagles.
I know they are evil, man. Cheaters.
Hey, Eagle fans are pretty tough though. They're pretty. They're Eagle fans, Flyer fans.
What was that movie with Mark?
All of them. Huh? All of them. I mean, you got to remember, these fans pelted Santa Claus.
Yeah. They are bad.
Every once in a while, ESPN shows the footage of it. They were a horrible team. I forget. It was in the 60s. They were playing at Franklin Field. It was the last game of the year. There was a snowstorm. They didn't shovel the stands. Santa Claus didn't show up. So they got some 6'4" college kid and said, hey, you want to make $5? Put Santa suit on. Santa suit doesn't fit him. And he starts walking out on the field waving. The fans got the snowballs. Next thing you know, this poor guy's running for his life. They're pelting him with snowballs.
Oh, shit. They crazy.
I was there when they pelted Jimmy Johnson, because we had season tickets.
Yeah.
They pelted Jimmy Johnson with ice balls.
Really?
They hated Dallas so bad. And the person leading the pelting was the mayor of the city.
Oh, my gosh. Yo, that's some funny stuff.
Man, that's crazy. Philly fans are crazy. Hey,
tough.
If someone said that you're more of a politician than a sheriff, what would you say to that?
I would say that all police chiefs and all police officers, to a certain degree, have to be "quote unquote" politicians, because you got to navigate the landmines that are there. Agree. Even as a beat cop, you know, you want to make sure you know what you're doing. As the sheriff, I would tell you probably 85% of my job is law enforcement related, and then there's that 15% where you can weigh in at times to have the law changed, or you can weigh in to have policy changed, or sometimes you can weigh in and your endorsement can get somebody elected. You know, if you have that much of a sway or respect in your community, your endorsement can help push somebody over the finish line.
Got you. All right, let's see. What's a more relaxed question? What's your regular day like? Let's say I don't even know if he doesn't have off days. Do you have an off day, or do you not?
I try to do Sunday afternoon. I try not to do anything after 2 or 3 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Because that's when I come and, you know, hang out with my girlfriend. Now it's football season, watch football, and just hang out, do whatever needs to be done around the house, do food shopping and all. So I try to draw a line on Sunday afternoons I'd like to block out all of Sunday, but it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Normally, I try to get up and out on my bike every day. Some point in time,
every day,
I try to make sure there's time to get out, even if it's only for an hour.
Yeah.
I try to work out every day, biking, going to the gym, doing something to keep your mind clear and keep you in the game.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, and I know. Oh, yeah, I saw that too with the whole COVID thing. I know that slowed you down from working out, huh?
That was brutal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the bike shop that I go to brought over it's called a trainer, where you hook the back wheel of your tire in and you can get on your bike and you could bike forever.
Yeah, stationary, yeah.
But biking with COVID was kind of interesting in my garage because, Florida, your garage is already 1,000 degrees.
Exactly.
But it really knocked me down for about 5 days. That 2 days I just laid on the bathroom floor on the tile because it was the only thing that was cool enough to make you feel like your fever breaking. And the nausea was incredible, and insomnia was the other thing. The headaches and the insomnia. We slept about an hour a day.
Wow.
Normally from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. I would fall asleep for an hour.
Why would you
were up at the time.
Would you say
so
it's
I don't know how people with predisposed medical conditions survived that, because it wiped me out, and I can't imagine.
That's what I'm saying. You're active. You're an active man. That's what I'm saying. I was going to say, do you contribute your active lifestyle for saving your life? Probably.
Yeah, I was lucky because it never got in my lungs.
Oh, wow.
I never had a lung issue. So, although some people would say I didn't have a heart issue because I don't have one, but I disagree with that.
Ice cold. Want to get your lightning round now?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. We could get the lightning round. You ready for the lightning round, sir?
I'm ready.
You ready? Hold on. All right.
Let's see. Let's get some questions here for you real quick.
Bam. Keep it real. Yeah, you got to have that noise.
All right.
Now, do I get points for this?
Yeah, you get elected points. I'll put in a word for you with the people.
All right.
Okay, that works.
And I know nobody.
All right. Started off with the easy one. Invisibility or super strength?
Super strength.
Okay. Texting or talking?
Talking.
Okay.
How long can you hold your breath for?
Ready?
This is good.
3 seconds. 20 seconds.
20 seconds. All right.
What was your nickname back in the day?
Shitty.
See, this would have been a good question to elaborate on. How many redheads? Oh, what's that?
It would have been.
Yeah, it would have been. Gosh damn it! Next time.
Yeah, we'll get that next time.
How many redheads are you friends with?
How many
redheads?
Redheads.
Are you friends with? Yeah, look at that. Mm-hmm. Make sure the girlfriend's not around.
I would say she's my friend.
Who's that?
My sister is. Redhead.
Okay. Your sister's a redhead.
Yeah, she's all. Yeah, I got the Italian genes. My sister got the Irish genes.
Yeah. So. Is she crazy?
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I would say 5.
5, okay. First celebrity crush?
First celebrity crush was Marie Osmond.
Oh, okay.
Marie Osmond. All right.
Favorite junk food?
Is considered pizza or Reese's Cups?
Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
Do you
sometimes mix together?
Do you snore?
Yes.
Yeah. How many cups of coffee do you need per day?
0.
Oh man.
Just like me.
What the hell?
Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
You got any more?
I want to ask him one. Keep going. I want to ask him one good one.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas Eve.
And how long does it take you to get ready?
For
work.
Godfather or Star Wars?
Ready for work takes about 20 minutes. And the other one was, what was it?
Oh, Godfather or Star Wars?
Oh, Godfather. Are you kidding?
Of course. I know you're not a nerd. I know it, man.
How about that?
I know it. Nope. Who's that?
although I will tell you, Princess Leia was also a crush.
No, she was hot. She was hot.
Yeah.
Dude, you know who was hot? We were supposed to review The Exorcist. You know that what's her name? She was hot.
For The Exorcist.
Yeah, she was hot. Man, they had her wear.
You mean the?
Was it
Well, when she got older, Exorcist 2, the
Blair?
daughter. Yeah, but when she got older, so they were Exorcist 2, she was hot. They had her some provocative stuff in Exorcist 2, man. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a really good one.
Who's that?
Sarah O'Connor or Riley from Aliens. Which one?
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah, but I'm going with the names, the characters. Yes, Linda Hamilton or Sigourney Weaver. I mean, in her good days, in her heydays. I'm talking about Terminator 2.
No one cares.
What? Everyone cares. That woman was okay. I'm sorry, dude. She was like perfect. In Terminator 2, she came back perfect. Anyway, I'm just saying. Sorry, guys.
I didn't see any of those movies. See, anything. I'm like 1950 back.
What?
I love American movie classics.
Oh, okay. Got you. I mean, so.
Oh, Yeller.
Oh, Yeller. Did that usually think? Oh, Yeller.
Gunga Din.
Gummy who?
Gunga Din.
Gummy.
Roger Kipling.
That's before our time.
It is. I'm gonna have to.
It's way before. That's 1932.
That's before our time.
I'm looking it up right. Google says they don't go back that far. Hey, I want to thank you for your time, man. This has been a pleasure.
Same here. And listen, you got another Port Orange guy you have to interview. The new police chief in Daytona Beach, Jakari Young, is a Port Orange resident as well.
Okay.
Yeah? Well, if you put in a word for us, we'll definitely interview him.
I will take good care of him. He's a good man.
Okay.
Got named police chief today. First African-American police chief in the history of the city of Daytona Beach. And they started policing in 1904.
We got to have him. Yeah, we got him.
Let me tell you, he's a good man.
He's a good man? Okay.
He's a smart, brilliant guy who's going to go far in policing. And he's a Port Orange resident.
Hey, set it up for us.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not done with being you don't have aspirations of being a politician? Because you sound like you're endorsing you're a great politician. Jeez.
Listen, if God's good to me, I get one more term as sheriff, I'll be fantastic.
Okay.
You're gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely.
You got my vote.
Hey, thank you again, man.
Well, we got to wait till 2024, so who knows what the heck's gonna happen.
Oh, I know.
You got my vote.
But I'll give you guys I'll give your information to Jakari. And the only bad thing about him is he's a huge FSU fan. I mean,
oh yeah. I love Gators. My wife, she loves Gators, so that's why she got me in that.
He might not talk to you then.
Oh, really?
War Eagle.
I think the highlight of his life was Bobby Bowden giving him an autographed football.
Oh, really?
All for him, yeah.
Jeez, I guess we have to bribe him. See how good
feel free to blow your horn at me on your bike when I'm driving by.
Oh, I will. I'll do it 3 times.
You can stop anytime you want.
Okay, I'll beep 3 times so you know it's me. So you're like, oh, who's that asshole? You know it's me. So beep, beep, beep.
I worry when they don't beep.
When they don't beep and they just hit. I hear you.
Yeah.
I've been there when you get hit by a pickup truck. It's not pleasurable.
Oh Lord, no. Jeez.
Hey,
in a state park.
Hey, didn't you lose your bike on the highway once before or something like that?
When I was elected sheriff. I was a sheriff about a month, and I took I got a brand new mountain bike, and I threw it on the back of the car and took it down to New Smyrna to ride down to the National Seashore down there. Put the bike back on. I'm driving on I-95, and it was dark, and I get home. I'm like, holy crap! There's no bike on the back of the car. I never heard it come off. So I had to circle back around and go back and call the police and call FHP. Yeah. And of course, it damaged about 8 cars.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Welcome to the sheriff's office. Faulty equipment on the bike rack. Thank God nobody got hurt.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was going to say, holy crap.
But thank you once again, Sheriff. Thanks for your time. We appreciate you. Yeah.
Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.